Welcome back to another episode of the Saturday, almost FP3 actually. Sorry, I have a little cold apparently. Catch it last night. So let's make it quick. Let's start with some news. Christian Horner, I mentioned before that he was complaining about the budget cap, that some teams were going to have difficulties reaching to the end of the season. There was a meeting about this here and in Monaco, not here. And most of the teams actually voted against of what he was saying of getting the budget higher. Like people like Alpine bosses, Safnoya, for example, told him that if Red Bull is bringing updates every single race while other teams are not, and this inflation thing that Horner was saying about the sea transit or logistics and everything is like 4 times what it used to be. This was like this already last year or at the beginning of the year. So there is no reason why they should, when especially most of the teams are trying to aim for that budget cap, when Red Bull, especially Red Bull, looks like are the ones who are spending way too much. The calculations they made in the in the economic department or purchasing department or planning department, it's really bad. So the teams voted no. Daniel Ricciardo is starting to feel the pressure after in Barcelona. He had some words from his boss Zach Brown about his performance this past year and a half, more or less, with the McLaren. He's starting to feel the pressure. He admitted he's starting to feel the pressure. He's starting to think about the future as well. His mental health, let's say, of how he's approaching the races, whether he should maybe finish the contract with McLaren this year, even though he said that he definitely improved compared to last year, where he was last year, with respect with Lando Norris, for example, the distance. In FP1 this Friday, he was like 0.1 behind Norris, so it's not that bad, even though Norris is still a little bit sick. However, sorry for that. However, you could see that in FP2 he had a crash where it's not a good image for Daniel Ricciardo to have a crash like that, right? I mean, he not performing the budget thing that is kind of on the echo of this Grand Prix, destroying the car, making it expensive. Anyway, lost practice time, so yeah, Sebastian Vettel defending the former Red Bull engineer that went to Aston Martin and joined this April. Many criticisms because of how the new Aston Martin looks like, saying it's a copycat, and even though the FIA made an investigation and proved Aston Martin proved that it was on the one-time wind tunnel last December, Red Bull are still not giving up, and they were criticizing a lot. And Sebastian Vettel actually is the one who, when being asked, defended his former colleague in Red Bull from his Red Bull years, saying that it's not fair to be criticizing, and it's not his fault. He's a good guy. Joined recently in April, and you know that in April you cannot just change the whole concept of the car and make a new thing. So it's not based on any facts. Let's see what we saw on Friday. You know, in Monaco, actually, you can see many pictures. You can get very close to the cars. But first, let's see the news that came out before the Monaco Grand Prix, provided by Pirelli for the next 3 Grand Prix tires that have been assigned already. Monaco is the softest one, so will be Azerbaijan, because they are both racetracks of urban racetracks, as well as Canada. So these are going to be the softest specs. As you can see, Silverstone is going to be the harder part of the specification of the 5 tires. You know, it used to be much easier to know the different colors that they used to have before. Like Z1 would be orange, Z2 would be the white one, this would be the yellow, this would be the red, this would be pink or purple or whatever color. It used to be much easier to know what tire. I don't know why they changed that, but anyway, that's the specification for the following Grand Prix. This is a notification from the FIA for the track limits and how you will be penaltied, or what will be the actions to be taken in case a driver jumps that turn 10, which is the chicane. Mainly because it's the only corner where you can do something like that. The other corners, perhaps the swimming pool, you can do something, but you will not cut much. You have to break out. So here we have some pictures of the cars that you can see on Friday. Because the pit lane is so small and so narrow, you can actually get very nice shots of the cars. Like the Alpine, you can see the suspension bars here for the front gear, the braking. This is something that I never saw before, and actually it's kind of interesting. This is the nose of the Alpine, and this is the air intake of the Alpine. It was a really nice picture to see this without the colors and without the cover on it. It was really interesting. The front wing of the Alpine, you can see that this is the front brake of the Aston Martin without the cover. You can see the brake disc, the intake of the air for cooling down. Same thing like the Alpine, but for the Aston Martin, you can see here the spring, front suspensions, Alfa Romeo with the wing, the floor. These ones, some things have it. This is the tension, and I think under this there is another one, if I am not mistaken. This should be from the Alpha Tauri, I think, the rear brake. Yes, it is. The front brake with the cover. You can see the difference without the cover and with the cover. Here you can actually see almost everything of the brake. This is the Ferrari. You can see little things here and there. The rear wing, full downforce for the car from Monaco. The floor, very little changes here. You can see here they did something like Mercedes, or Mercedes did something like this as well. Some ondulations from the back. You can see the diffuser. The most important part of the car is on down here, and the only thing that most of the teams can develop. Actually, the same thing like the Alpine, but for the Ferrari. You can see it here. Here you have the McLaren. Actually, yeah, I was gonna post this one. This is really cool. Same concept as the Ferrari, same concept. Nobody's saying about the copy there, huh? Some teams have it like more ondulations, like waves. Some teams have it like this. Quite flat here, unlike other teams. The front wing, there are actually two specifications for the front wing that can be seen. I didn't get a picture yet, but this is the air intake that I was pointing out for the Alpine. And this is for the Mercedes. This thing and this thing, and you can see all those things that are usually covered, and this is new actually, that is helping the car flow, directing the airflow somewhere down the car, which is not shown in the picture. So this is a cover to keep the temperature of the fuel and also for people not to see anything. Many cars can be seen without the cover this weekend. I don't know what the cat wants. From the other side, more or less the same thing. You can see all these cables and bits and the engine, or the power unit actually, how they call it. Here they have it covered so nobody can see, for the suspension and everything. The front brakes. This is the thing that the picture was showing before. The Red Bull car, much flatter than, for example, the McLaren car, right? Here, no lift, no skate. Nobody knows what that means, something for them. But I don't know if this is like a floor for transportation, because I remember the Red Bull had some waves in some areas that we cannot see right now. More things uncovered as well, the engine, cables everywhere. Anyway, let's go into the Friday practice. What did we see? Monaco, very slippery, FP1, FP2. The normal thing is to see what we are seeing somewhere there. Anyway, here, lockups, especially in corner 1, maybe at the exit of the tunnel, and the swimming pool, which is, if you see the racetrack here, it's right here. So Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc also went white there. This is after the swimming pool. Hamilton jump in the corner. Magnussen with the hash jump in the corner. Mick Schumacher had some power unit problem, and he blocked the entrance of the pit lane, causing, I think this is Alonso, to not be able to enter into the pit lane. But he's not the only one actually with the problem of the power unit. Valtteri Bottas also had some problems with the power. So yeah, Valtteri Bottas also missed part of the practice because of problems in the power unit. Let's not forget that Alfa Romeo are, in theory, on the paper, one of the biggest surprises for the Grand Prix, or are expected to be the biggest surprises for the Grand Prix, because of their high efficiency in low downforce corners. We saw Alexander Albon at the exit of the tunnel for the chicane number 10, turn number 10, as we mentioned. He almost destroyed the car. It's very easy point to destroy the car. In previous years, we saw many drivers crashing there, like Jenson Button or Nico Rosberg, I think it was as well, and Perez, and many drivers actually crash in that section. Who crashed, actually, as I mentioned before, it's Daniel Ricciardo in the swimming pool. He got the car unstable on the fast chicane and got against the wall. He lost a lot of time of the practice because of this. Oh, this guy. Good. I just noticed this guy was taking the picture just at the moment of the accident. So yeah, usually it would be a red flag, because in Monaco you need to put all the cranes are outside the track already, ready to take the cars away. So it's kind of fast and very efficient, but still, like, there is a car and it's very dangerous. You can see Lando Norris also going long in the first corner. Lewis Hamilton before the casino, or after the casino, sorry, getting also blocking and going to the runway. And this is how things ended. You can see that both Ferraris actually are very close to each other, Sainz and Leclerc. It is expected Leclerc to be faster than Sainz, especially in qualifying and on the race as well, since you cannot overtake. Anyway, I'm surprised to see the Red Bull so far away, and I think even they are surprised, according to what the news say. They are 3 4/10 off the pace of Charles Leclerc, which is not something ideal. In theory, I'm expecting him to be closer to Sainz or Leclerc and be somewhere there. Perez, here's the second driver, what can we say? And here we have Norris, the biggest surprise. McLaren, it's like a lottery this year. Sometimes some races they go well, some races they are a disaster. So it's kind of unpredictable what happens with them. Russell, seems like the Mercedes were kind of complaining about the bouncing once again, but they were not the only ones actually. Most of the teams have this bouncing problem as well. I was expecting Alpine not to have this problem, since the car is designed in a different way and the floor allows them not to have so much porpoising. So I was expecting them to be kind of in the front, like P7, P8, which is where Alonso is, but I was expecting them to be a little bit higher, since it's not a racetrack that requires a lot of engine. However, it is kind of clear that they have not a very good car for slow corners. Very good practice for Vettel and for both Alpha Tauris as well. Looks like the Alpha Tauris are working in this racetrack. So it's going to be an interesting Grand Prix. Hamilton is also in P12 or 14, something like this, with a lot of bouncing problems. Looks like it's not going to be a very good Grand Prix for him. So the battle for, apart from the top 4, looks like it's going to be McLaren, Russell, and the Alpha Tauris, with perhaps the Alpine of Alonso and perhaps Vettel. So it looks like it's going to be an interesting Grand Prix on Saturday for the qualifying. Remember, not possible to overtake on Sunday. Qualifying is very important, and there is going to be a huge amount of traffic on Q1 and Q2, especially in Q1. You could see Tsunoda was complaining yesterday about the traffic all the time. He couldn't have a clear lap. Many drivers will have this issue. It's a very narrow place. You cannot get aside so easily. So Q1, we might have surprises of people going out that should not be going out. So careful for that. Qualifying is the Grand Prix for Monaco, and the Grand Prix is just a parade of cars saying hello. Stay tuned. Let's see what happens in the qualifying.